Excellent. Welcome. Thank you all for joining us today. This is Maor, and I'm sure I said that incorrectly. He can fix it here in a little bit. His presentation today is Google Apps Scripts Kill Chain. Before we get going here, I want you to all remember that these videos are all being recorded and they will be available on YouTube. That means if your cell phone goes off, everybody on the internet will then know that you were the one whose cell phone went off in the presentation. So please don't be that person. We definitely want to thank our sponsors. I'm going to pull up my cheat sheet here. So Versprite, Protivity, Tenable, Amazon, and The Source of Knowledge all are our major sponsors for this, and without them, we could not put this conference on. So thank you all, thank you sponsors very much, and thank you all for being here. If and when you have questions for this speaker during the presentation or after, please come signal me. I'll be standing in the back of the room. You want to have this microphone in your hand. The reason for that is, again, these are being recorded, so someone is going to want to hear your question. Other than that, there is a website, sked.org. Come get me later if you want to leave feedback for this presenter. And please do, if you have anything you'd like to say, it helps everybody to have more feedback from the audience. So, without further ado, have at it.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. I'll start with a short intro about myself. As this guy mentioned, my name is Maor. I work for Proofpoint as a research lead. I come from the background of Win32 low-level development. I also used to do some reverse engineering for mobile apps and mobile native code. For the last year, I'm working on, we're doing research on SaaS applications, especially in Google, including some vulnerability disclosure. So we're going to talk about Google Apps Scripts, and we're going to present it as like a kill chain sort of things. I don't have a slide on the kill chain itself because I was like saying, yeah, this is BSides, right? Everybody knows what kill chain is. So that's fine, and we'll try to go over the steps, and we'll start with introduction to Google Apps Script for those of you who are not familiar with it, and after that we'll try to get a bit more malicious and see some example. I will be switching screens all the time because I have these slides over here, and I will do some live demos all the time. So let's start. So as I said, a short overview on Google Apps Scripts. I don't know how much of you familiar with this service? If you not much. Okay. I love it that you came to hear what. How much of you are familiar with the concept of third-party applications? Okay, better. So Google Apps Scripts are they're in the same family of third-party application, if I'm a cloud service or just a cloud provider or something like that, and I want some people to develop service to expose services of what I'm offering. So they expose an API, and I, as a developer, can use that API and use their services. So Google Apps Scripts actually do the same. just with some limitation of the regular API, we'll try to cover what the difference and stuff like that. If we're speaking about Google Apps Script, it's basically like a JavaScript language, and it's being executed like within Google backend. It's not running like on my backend, like a third-party application or stuff like that. It's just being executed as part of the Google cloud service or backend or whatever you want to call it. So, and it lets you use like some services that are very neat, I think, like the Gmail app. It lets you develop, like, send emails and do stuff like within your Gmail. It lets you like do stuff within your Drive app, like Google Drive. I'm sure like everyone here is using Google Drive. And you can do like other stuff as well, like connecting to an API or querying another API, like third-party service and stuff like that. It lets you do that as well. So you can like automate your all your action. If I were like a sysadmin of maintaining a Google account, so I'll definitely will be using like Google Apps Script, because it's like the best way to maintain an account, to my opinion, of course. We have different type of script. We have the standalone script, which is like basically a file that just lay in your Google Drive. We have bound scripts, which is like if you think about Microsoft macros. Okay, so it's basically it. It's like a bound to a document, a bound to Google Sheet, bound to form or something like that. And we have another interesting concept, which is the web app. So let's see one example like that we have right here. Everybody can see the screen, right? All right, so we'll try to see like the example services. So we have the Gmail example, which is like, it's very simple code, nothing very complicated. You just go over your Gmail account, okay? Like in my Gmail account, it just prints the attachments that's like within my emails. We have like a simple Drive app example, okay, which uses the Drive app. I'm like searching in files, okay, and looking for the string hello world, like which document like created in this date and contains the title hello world. And we have like a query to the API, some web API that I found online. It's Yahoo's API. So I guess now that you see it, you're probably thinking, yeah, this is a strong tool. I can definitely use that. During this talk, I will be like going malicious, and we'll like try to see some more example how to try to use, like, this is the usage of Google Apps Script, but we'll try during this talk like abusing it, okay? Like trying to scale up campaigns and trying to like do some more interesting stuff. So let's see like a quick example like how to run this thing. Okay, so this is a script editor, okay? When you create a file, I'll be right to show you how to do that. But when you create a file, you just like put your code inside. You can create like other files as well, and you just like run like whatever method you want to run to execute. So if we will like try one that will be asking like permissions, like if I allow this usage of stuff. So let's review the permissions, and we can see that it asks for read emails, doing some stuff in your OneDrive, and querying like external links. Okay, that's cool because that's what it does, right? So let's allow it. And that's basically it. Like if I allow it now, it's just being executed. You can see like I'm printing some logs here, so you can just like go to the logs and see like no logs because I have no there. But let's try this one. Yeah, so just querying the API, and you can see the response of Yahoo APIs. Okay? Now, the interesting thing about here is that you've seen that this service, this script was asking for permission. So if you go to like my permission, like in my account, like the connected apps in my account, we can see the script, what its name, example services, right? We just have to like refresh this page, and you can see it right over here. Yeah. So this is it. This is basically it. So this is, as I mentioned, this is like legit usage of Google Apps Script. Like, and if we want to create a script, it is also very, very simple. So let's try to like give an example for that as well. You like just go into your Google Drive account and like create a new file, and you go like Google Apps Script. This one is standalone script, okay, because it stands by itself. Okay, very simple. So you can just like write your code here and do whatever necessary, like Gmail app, okay, and do stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the standalone script. You can change its name or whatever. Let's see an example of bound script, like if I open Google Sheets, okay? So as I mentioned, this is like Microsoft macros, okay? But it doesn't really affect the binary because there is no binary. We're talking about cloud. Like if I will download this file, I won't see like binary difference. I mean, believe me, I checked it because I was looking. I was like, yeah, this would be cool if we can like do something like put some malicious thing inside the binary. Yeah, but I couldn't find it. So it just connected just like a virtual link within your cloud provider. So let's see how to do that. Like we created a new file, a new sheet, and we go to Tools and open the script editor, and the script editor will be open, and we'll see the exact same thing. Like we can write our code right here. The thing is that the interesting thing that these bound scripts are, you can access them like a regular file. Like if the standalone script is like lying within your Google Drive. This one, I mean, you can't find it. You can just access it from this sheet and nothing more. So. The same concept here, of course. You write your code, do your stuff, do like could be legit stuff or malicious stuff, whatever you want. The last type is like web app, okay? And the web app is like you just create an actual web application, like a real web application that that they provide you like link that you can access like from anywhere, and you can create your own HTML and like do a real web application within it. And the interesting stuff that we'll see, like in this example, this is a static HTML page. Okay, it's like not doing anything. We'll see, if we continue like a few slides more, we'll see like an example of self-executing JavaScript that like can use for phishing attacks and stuff like that. And we could see another interesting concept. It's like for this web app using like my cloud permission. Like if I'm accessing this link, I would be able to get some information with permissions, of course, of the cloud user that access this link. So in order to get this link, you just have to like deploy a web app and like do like new. And as you see, you can choose like who's gonna execute this app. So it could be like me or the user that accessing it. Okay, and that part is really interesting. We'll see why in a few moments. And you can choose like who can access it, like if it's public, if it's not public. Okay, so you like getting this new address, and you can go and try to access this link, and you see like the status, okay, which is exactly the HTML that we just created. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. Yeah, so I'm sure you all understand now. This is a very, very powerful tool, as well for IT admins like that maintain Google accounts, and for like attackers, right? You can now think about some usage or how to abuse this kind of like things. So. As I said, I don't have like a slide of the step of the kill chain, but I'll try to like go over with you on it. So the first step is like infiltration, right? Like how do we do infiltration? So as I said, like standalone scripts and bound scripts are just files, right? So what can I do? I can just share it with everyone, right? So yeah, that's basically it. We just share it. And the web app, as you all see, it's a link, right? So I can send it by email, by instance messages, by any other thing that you might think. Okay? So yeah, that's basically it. And for those of you who are not familiar, like how to share a file or how to do stuff like that, it's really, really easy. It's like coming to this file and like press share, and you like choose whoever you want to share it with. Okay, really easy. And we just had the example of like getting web app link, so I won't return on that. We'll just continue to the next step. Yeah. So if you want to do some like use this Google Apps scripts in order to like get data out of the organization. So we can do like stuff like auto forward emails and post to external URL, and as well use it as a CMC server. Like think about it. It's like very simple. You just created some random Google account. You create like a web app, okay, and start using it as a CMC server. I mean, this is a very powerful tool, right? I mean, I wanted to show you some example about it, but I think I have like a more interesting example that I want to show. So I'll just talk about like really short about the Carabank campaign that we've seen in the wild, which was using Google Apps Script as a CNC server. It was also they also used Google Forms, if you're familiar with that concept, as their CNC server. So yeah, you can imagine it's like very, very powerful tool for attackers, and we've seen it in the wild. So yeah. So that's for the exfiltration part. Now I want to like show you some innovative phishing method that we're like in my research team we were like thinking about. So we'll try to do it real quick because we don't have like much time. So this is my CV, okay? And if I open it, we'll see like an encrypted document, right? Because I don't want like everyone to have my CV. And encrypted document is being downloaded. The decrypted document, being downloaded. So let's check the file. What is this file, right? So if we like MD5 download, and what was the name? I have some. I do a lot of stuff with this file, you know. So this is it's MD5, and if you like go to real quick to virus total, I have it right here. We'll see. Yeah. Well, basically, it's a malicious file, as you can tell. So, as you already guessed, I was using Google Script in order to create this phishing method. And this is, as you can guess by now, this is a bound script. And we'll just, let's examine this script and see what it does. So we'll go to the script editor again. And yeah, this is the not very interesting part. Let's just look at the HTML. And we're just seeing that I'm creating an element and providing like a download link. And at first I was thinking like, yeah, I'm going to set up a server and connect to the server and do some stuff like that. And then I just realized, why not using Google Drive, right? Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just like putting the file like within Google Drive, and no antivirus and nothing like they don't run it. So why not use it, right? So yeah, the thing is about this method is like. If I want to share it, so it won't exactly work as expected. And why is that? Because Google actually block Google Script if I like take a shareable link, like if I do something like that, go right here and try to get shareable link and like share it and copy this link and send it to one of my friends, it won't work because they block it. So we can like do this, like share files, like scale up this campaign using actually Google Apps Scripts. We'll just like create a script, and this is the file ID with Google, and we'll just share it with Mr. Brown. And let's execute the script. Okay, let's give it permissions to do that. Okay, allow. And we're about to see that Mr. Okay, well, I have it right. Yeah, new email. Yeah, like right here, open in docs. And this is our file. And we're seeing that download encrypted file again. that's basically the main example that I wanted to show. We don't have much time, so we'll jump right into the mitigation. And if someone has like question, where we don't have time for the propagation, but let's continue to the do real quick to the mitigation part, because I think that's very important, even though probably won't be very effective. So for the self-execution of JavaScript, we might want to use like an endpoint security, although as you all know, it has its limitations, right? So yeah, that's about it. Try to use it, and if not, just try to be aware of what you guys are doing. For the third-party apps, we'll try to review the script permission, understand what it does, what it's gonna do to your account, what it's gonna use, or stuff like that. So you wanna review the script scopes, its permissions, and you want to probably, if you installed it, and you probably will want, and if you find out it's malicious, you probably want to revoke it, using this link. And there is also a CASB solution that use prevent or do stuff like that. So yeah, that would be it. I think we don't have time for questions.
We don't have time for questions right now. If you like to, you can hunt the speaker down out in the conference and ask him everything you want to know. Thank you very much for your presentation. Big round of applause.